Okay, this is a reaction video. This is from Saeed TV. Furious Amorim tells Garnacho to leave Manchester United. Look, well, first of all, congratulations to the Arsenal women for winning the Champions League. At least one Arsenal team could do it, so we got a trophy. Even though it's not the men, it's the women. But fantastic. Good for them. Congratulations to the Arsenal women. Well, look, I don't know Amorim. Okay, I know he's a manager of Manchester United. I know he was at Sporting Lisbon, but that's what Sporting before Manchester United. Now, Garnacho basically made some statements after the Europa League final that didn't go over too well, and I have to think Amorim talked to Garnacho, and then basically has come up and said to leave Manchester United. So let's see what Saeed has to say about this. Furious, please click like, share, and subscribe for Saeed as well as for me as well. I would appreciate it.
Ruben Amorim is today fuming and has told Garnacho to leave Manchester United.
Yeah, that is amazing. You know, look, Garnacho is a good player, is a solid player, is a player you can do some things with at Manchester United. To get rid of Garnacho, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And I've seen Garnacho to Chelsea. I don't know about that, but we'll see. But Garnacho to lead Manchester United.
This has been an astonishing day where Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has effectively called an emergency meeting and has told the members of staff and players, I am staying, and Garnacho, you must leave. Wow. Breaking news today. David Ornstein broke the news earlier on today, and it was an exclusive from David Ornstein.
Well, again, that doesn't surprise me that Amorim is going to stay at Manchester United. I think he needs to stay at Manchester United. I think he needs to build his reputation at Manchester United. I think he needs to find players that can play in his system. That's what he needs to do. And tells Garnacho to find a new club. And I think Garnacho is a player who could play in his system, but apparently Garnacho has crossed the line, and he's told him he can go.
Amorim informs Manchester United squad he will be in charge next season, and tells Garnacho to find a new club. Happened during meeting between Portuguese head coach and Man United players at Carrington base training today. Wow. Talk about being ruthless. Talk about stamping your authority in.
That's the one thing I like about Arteta at Arsenal is he's ruthless. I mean, we had a pretty good goalkeeper at Ramsdale, and he goes and gets David Raya and basically replaces him on loan and then buys him for this. I liked Ramsdale. I thought Ramsdale was a fantastic keeper, but Arteta switched him. And so, look, you have to be ruthless in this job. Look, Fergie was ruthless in the job. David Beckham, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Jaap Stam, the only player Fergie ever regretted selling, Roy Keane, you have to be ruthless in this job.
Into the team and making sure that any egos and anyone who's not part of the project to get out and find a new club. Listen, putting aside what we think of the manager, whatever, that's down to Ineos. But the manager is still in charge of the players. And for me, this is a positive sign. It's a positive step for next season. We need to get rid of these players, bro. These players are not good enough for Manchester United Football Club.
I disagree. I think Garnacho is good enough for Manchester United. But if he's not going to, if he's going to sit there and complain and whine about not playing in the Europa League final, then look, I got to think that Amorim went to him and said, "Look, this is why I did what I did," and Garnacho's still flapping his gums. Yeah, you got to do this.
Get rid of them. Because what remains the constant is the players. The players always stay after the manager. The players always get a new lease of life once the manager leaves. I've had enough. And whatever you think of the manager, and the players have been getting away with a lot, man. They've been getting away with it. It's about damn time, yeah. we are accountable for these players. They come out, yeah, after the game, yeah, straight to an interview, yeah. Oh, but I should have played more. Get out of here, man. Seriously. Like,
again, I have to think that Amorim talked to Garnacho after the game, said, "This is why I did what I did. This is what I was thinking of." And I think Garnacho still opened his mouth and flapped his gums to the press about it. I think that's what happened. Okay, I don't think that Garnacho, Amorim just told Garnacho to kiss off, and Garnacho went to the press. I don't think that's what happened.
if you want to say that, say it to your manager, bro. Like, talk to your manager. You don't go after a press conference and start chatting rubbish, bro. Yeah, you're frustrated, but there's a time to do things, bro. And that right
again, like he's saying there, he said did a press conference. I think Amorim talked to Garnacho, and Garnacho still spouted his flapped his gums about it.
there for me, it's disrespectful to your teammates, disrespectful to the manager. Whether you think of him or not, it's disrespectful, bro. And people can say whatever they want to say, but someone like Garnacho, yeah, who is brother, I'm sick of him. I really am. I've backed Garnacho for far too long, man. But his ego, like I said to you guys, is of Ronaldo, but his ability just not matched up. He may
look. Cristiano Ronaldo was a fantastic player for Manchester United both times that he played for him. Garnacho is a solid player, okay, but he's not Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's never gonna be Cristiano Ronaldo. Never.
go on and do elsewhere, somewhere else, but not at Man United. The current theme, the toxicity within the players, the player power, whatever you want to call it, yeah, they've been having it their way for far too long, and I'm sick of it. For once, I actually agree with this manager and say, yo, get gone, man. That goes for Rashford, goes for any of these players. Get gone. If you're not part of the project, you're not part of what we're doing right now.
Look, Rashford's gone. Okay, Rashford's not going to play for Manchester United anymore. He can't play for Aston Villa. I think he's injured. And even if he wasn't injured, he wouldn't be able to play against. Because he's on loan at Aston Villa, so he wouldn't be able to play against Manchester United, even if he was available to play. But yeah, Rashford's gone. Look, when you look at Manchester United, Garnacho's going to be gone. Rashford's going to be gone. Mason Mount must be one of the best players on practice day. He must be one of the most fantastic players because he is absolute garbage on game day. Okay, I didn't. Frank Lampard loved him. I think Thomas Tuchel loved him. Mason Mount is garbage. He is crap, and he needs to go. Okay, he needs to go someplace else. Okay, but Manchester United, but. In fact, I was even worried that Arsenal was going to get him. That would have been absolutely horrible. But yeah, you need to get rid of these players. But look, I'm not a Manchester United fan. I'm wearing Arsenal colors, okay? But I'm just listening to him go off on what's going on about Garnacho to leave Manchester United. And yeah, you look, Manchester United may finish 17th place at the end of the day. Manchester United may finish in 17th place in the Premier League.
Gone, bro. On a level where you have to create that authority, I'm with it. Like I said, wherever I think that the manager might not be good enough for the job, might not be the man to take us forward, you know what, man? I don't want to see these players get away with it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these players getting away with it year in, year out, man.
And I like Said. I like Said a lot. Said is honest, okay? He is truthful. And he speaks, look, he's a Manchester United fan, but he loves his club. There's no question about it. He absolutely loves Manchester United. He loves his club, and he speaks truthful about it. He's not like one of these people like delusional, like Flying Pig, who thinks Manchester United walks on water, and Said tells the truth.
Time to start this rebuild, people. It's time to get rid of these players who have not been good enough. Today we heard Lindelof not being in a good contract. Thank you. Get rid of them one by one. Because someone like Garnacho, yeah, who thinks he's got this absolute demand to be playing week in, week out. When he gets taken off, he's strutting. When he gets, like, bro, it's not about like he cares, yeah. He may do well care. He probably still loves the football club. I'm not denying that. But it's kind of obviously entitlement. The entitlement for these players, yeah, has to stop. We need to stop encouraging us as fan base here that they have a divine right to play football. We as fans need to stop this stand culture. This idea that players have the power. Players are the ones in control. No, they're not. Know your role, bro. At Man United Football Club, we've been failing for far too long, mate. We are 17th, bro. And you're there moaning after a game because you didn't play. Get out of here, man. Seriously. I'm sick and tired of it, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, we are where we are collectively as a team, bro. You coming on the football pitch, yeah, you may have well got us a goal here and there. Or we might have won a game. But the bigger picture remains the same, bro. We're going to be here next year in the Champions League. Oh, he didn't play in the quarterfinals. He didn't play here. He didn't play there. I'm sick of it, bro. I genuinely, I'm sick of it. So I'm actually glad. And now we can get some money out of this brother, bro. We can get some money out of this brother.
Well, again, like I say, I've heard Chelsea might be interested in Garnacho. I don't know about that. But yeah, you can get some money out of him. I don't know how much you can get out of him. You know, maybe 30, 35 million pounds. That's just a guess top of my head. I don't know what his valuation or what Manchester United values him at, but I don't expect him to play today against Aston Villa.
I don't know how much. I don't know what he's worth. You let me know in the comments. You let me know in the comments how much is Garnacho worth. I'm saying around about, for me, 50 million.
Okay, that's a little bit more than I said. But I said 30, 35 million. But you know, he may be worth that much. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I would pay if I was interested in Garnacho that I'd pay 50 million pounds for him. I'd probably maybe 30, 35 million is 40 million maybe.
45, 50 million. I pray to God Chelsea game. I pray to God.
Well, I just said Chelsea is interested in him and he wants Chelsea to get him.
You Matisse said that. Oh, listen. You man, I swear down, Chelsea, please. Because they don't rate him. And they know what they're going to get from him. They're going to get an inconsistent player. A player that's got a lot of ego. He has got a little bit of talent, don't get me wrong. But a guy who, for me, what's the word I'm looking for, man? Like, he's been given things too soon, bro. Like, we've literally propelled his ego. We've kind of made his ego bigger than what he is, bro. The song, the Ronaldo song, everything. Ronaldo boots, everything, bro. It's not good enough, man. It really, really is not good enough. And I'm going to read you the report as well, by the way. This is the report from The Athletic today. Let me read you this report. Ruben Amorim has informed Man United squad he will remain in charge next season while telling Alejandro Garnacho to find a new club. Following Wednesday's Europa League final by Tottenham Hotspur, the Portuguese head coach offered a walkaway from Old Trafford without any conversation. If the board and fans no longer felt he was a man for the job, he repeated insisting he would not.
Which was an honorable thing to do. I mean, it was honorable to say, I'll leave the club. I won't ask for compensation and go on my merry way. But apparently Manchester United probably said, no, don't do that. Stay. We want you here. And I think that's a good move for Manchester United. I think Amorim is look, it's for Manchester United, it's going to take time. Okay, something that you do not have a lot of patience with. Look, when about 5 or 6 years ago, Arsenal was in the same position. Actually, Manchester United's in a worse position than Arsenal was, and we stuck with Arteta. Now we haven't made it yet. Okay, we haven't won any trophies yet. We won an FA Cup with them, but we haven't won any real trophies yet. But we are there. We're in the Champions League next year. Okay, we made it to the semifinals this year. We made it to the semifinals of the League Cup this year. We were finished in second place in the Premier League this year. Okay, we are knocking on the door. Okay, because we had a plan, we stuck with it, and now we are looking to build on what we started. I think it's a good move for Manchester United to keep Amorim.
Quit despite United starting at their worst finish in the Premier League era with one game of the season remaining against Aston Villa on Sunday. It's 16th in the top flight table. Wow, crazy. Sources within with the knowledge of the matter speaking anonymously to protect relationship indicate Amorim has addressed the players at the club Carrington training ground on Saturday to inform them of his own plans in front of the group and those for Garnacho. Man United treat dressing room privacy matters and decline to comment. Brother, we get leaks every day. What do you mean decline to comment? But we know.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing about Manchester United. Look, you don't know what's going on at Arsenal because we're all on the same page. We don't talk to the press. We don't do our business in the press. Manchester United, you have leaks like a sieve.
Know what happens. Garnacho hinted at frustrations with Amorim after only being introduced as a 71st minute substitute in Bilbao, adding that he would see what happens after a summer break. Garnacho's brother, this guy here, bro, this guy needs to piss off with him as well, man. I'm sick of this guy's brother, Roberto. Also pointed a message on Instagram saying that his sibling had been thrown under a bus. Look at the ego. Look at the entitlement, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of like I remember Nicolas Anelka's brothers when he was at Arsenal '98, pushing for a move to Real Madrid, and not really addressing what was best for the player. In fact, Nicolas Anelka basically said that was one of the biggest regrets of his life was leaving Arsenal like that. But yeah, you look, you have family members who say these things. Look, you speak to you and say, man, you are this, you are ego, and what they're thinking about is their own pocket, because whatever's good for him is good for me, and they don't look at what's good for Garnacho, and that's a problem.
Thrown under the bus, bro. Chill out, man. You're not Neymar. You're not Messi. You're not Ronaldo. These guys are going on like these are world-class players. Chill your bees, man. Flipping hell, mate. By Amorim suggested that Garnacho miss against Atletico Bilbao and second leg helped inform to call to start Mason Mount of him against Spurs. By the way, yeah, I actually watched this interview again, and this is where people need to really, really take interviews. Watch the interviews, guys. Like, honestly, guys, don't read quotes from these aggregate accounts. They misinterpret a lot of things. Go and read and...
But to be fair to Garnacho, you can understand why he feels the way he did, especially the way Mason Mount played. Look, if Mason Mount had gone and scored 2 or 3 goals and basically just or assisted on 2 or 3 goals or dominated the midfield and played outstanding football, then he wouldn't be saying these things. Okay, but it took 71 minutes before Amorim actually put him in the game. So I can understand his frustration. Okay, but what he's saying to the press is taking it a little bit too far.
And listen to what the manager says. Whether you think of him or not, whether you think he's a bad coach or not, it doesn't matter. Please just read the comments. Don't go and look for quotes, guys, because what he said actually was fair. He said that, you know what, Garnacho missed opportunities in certain games, but Mason Mount did well in certain games. So it's not one of them. It's not black or white, is it? You feel me? Like, certain players had their performances. I went with what I went with. So it's not fair for you to kind of basically nitpick at comments, and that's what people did. They nitpicked at comments. They took it out of context, and it was seen that he was trying to throw them under the bus when he actually wasn't. To be honest with you, it's hard for everyone. This season was rubbish, but now losing the final tonight in the league when we didn't beat anyone, that's the truth. Garnacho told reports. Up until the final, I played every round and played 20 minutes. I don't know. I'm going to try to enjoy the summer and see what happens after. Garnacho was dropped alongside Marcus Rashford in the derby in December before appearing to earn the manager's trust again and being reinstated. The Athletic also reported that the homegrown players like fellow academy Kobe Mainu the club would be reluctant to consider a selling as part of the efforts to comply with football financial rules. As an approach from Napoli was later knocked down back and the deadline passed without a move before his reaction to the substitution against Ipswich Town in February, so Amorim later revealed he had paid for a team dinner by way of an apology. You remember that one? Garnacho not liking that he was subbed off. He told him to go and pay for the lads. Garnacho joined from Atletico Madrid in 2020. Bruno Fernandes is also on the subject of leaving. He goes, I'll speak with my players, but my focus on the last game. I don't know what's going on. We have a plan. Blah, 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 blah. And
okay, they have a plan, but we don't know what the plan is. And look, the good news for Manchester United is you're not going to be relegated. Okay, whether win, lose, or draw, you're not going to be relegated. If you win the game, great. If you lose the game, it happens. But you've got a lot of work to do in the off season, and it looks like it's going to start with selling Garnacho and Marcus Rashford.
See, it goes on to that one. But like I said, people, man, For me, I want to see player power gone. I really do, man. I want to see players thinking that they got this divine right to go. I think for me, players are part of the problem. We look at the manager far too often. Listen. I think the manager's out of his depth. I don't think the manager's been great. I think he's failed miserably. Cool. But I also think these players get away with murder. They get away with a lot, guys. They get away with so much, man. And I'm not having it, people. I am not allowing these players to get away with it. Sorry, guys. You can say what you want to say about the manager. You can say what you want to say about the style of play and whatnot. These players, they get away with it every.
Yeah, he's right. And look, the Manchester United. Look, you need somebody who's going to be like Fergie. Okay, there were no leaks under Fergie. Okay, Fergie did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it, and that was the end of it because he was the manager. It was his club. They're going to do what I say, not what you wanted. It was just that way. It was that way for Fergie, and that's how it needs to be for Amorim. Okay. Look, I don't know how long more I'm going to do more of these Manchester United videos because personally I enjoy doing them, and because Amorim needs to put his foot down and needs to really look towards the summer and bring in some top quality players that are going to do what he can do. And again, part of the problem is Amorim because he has a system, and he's married to the system. He didn't change. It would have behooved him to probably go in and just play Manchester United away, play a different style, play the way they wanted to, and then eventually bring in start incorporating your system in starting next year when you bring in the players that can actually play in your system. Instead, he actually is married to it, and that has been a bit of a problem because Amorim has been a problem this year. But they beat Manchester City. They beat Arsenal in the FA Cup. Well, they didn't really beat them. They basically drew with them, but beat them in penalties. And they made it to a Europa League final. I mean, there is something there for Manchester United to look forward to.
Every single year, bro. You get this new fresh start. Fresh start, fresh ideas, training, loving it, life. Soon as it goes tough for them, soon as they start to feel like, it's not working for them, they throw the dummy out, bro. They spit the dummy out, and it's not good, man. I'm not having it, guys. And Garnacho is one of them that needs to be sold. I want Bruno sold. I want Rashford sold. I want Anthony sold. I want every single player that we deem not good enough sold. Big rebuild this summer, people. Open up your eyes. Open up and smell the coffee. This is what we need. We need this right now.
Okay, and then you understand that if you get rid of all those players like that, and it's going to take some time. It's going to take not just a season, not just 2 seasons, maybe 3 or 4 seasons before you get to where you're close to being where you need to be.
This is what's needed for the football club. For us to get back to the top, we need this, people. You see what I'm trying to say, people? We need this as a football club. A reset. Everything needs to change. None of this saviors. None of this, unite. None of this, people, man. We don't need this, guys. We need to be back to the top, and we need players that are going to be part of this process, because it's going to be tough. Getting back into the top 6, then trying to get into the top 5, then trying to get into the top 4. Like, bro, this is a rebuild, bro. This we keep saying this every year. I'm tired of saying it, but it's the reality. We need players that are going to be ready for that. Premier League proven. When now you get rid of Garnacho, get me a Premier League proven player. Don't get me no young talent from abroad that's got another ego. Get me a Premier League proven player who's grounded, who's willing to work hard, and is willing to get with the job, because it's a big job. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is he right? Is he wrong? Let me know. It's all about opinions. Like the video.
Well, like I said, it's going to take some time for Manchester United to get to where they are. And if they keep putting band-aids over, putting band-aids over broken bones, they're going to keep having these problems. But line long may continue as far as I'm concerned. But hey, look, please click like, share, and subscribe for Side TV, as well as for me. I would appreciate it. But good luck for Manchester United. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.